Hello everyone and welcome to my new channel. My name is Emily. I am 19 years old and today I'm going to share a part of my life that I fully never talked about before. For most of my childhood I felt different. I didn't know why and neither did the people around me. Looking back, I now believe I showed many signs of autism that went unnoticed. This video isn't about blaming anyone, it's about sharing my experiences, raising awareness, and hopefully helping someone else feel a little less alone if they've gone through something similar. To give you some background, I grew up in a rural area for part of my childhood. I lived in an apartment and later my family moved into a house. I was raised in a Jewish household and despite everything that happened, there are many parts of my childhood that I still appreciate. I love the traditions, the holidays, the food, and the culture. But there were also experiences that left me with trauma that I still carry today. One of my biggest losses I went through was when my aunt died when I was in second grade. That really affected me emotionally. My parents didn't allow me to go to her funeral, and I remember crying at night a lot because I didn't fully know how to process it. I also have memories of playing card games with her, watching the bird animation movie Rio with her, and eating the food she cooked, which was the best. As a child, I showed many signs that, looking back, seemed consistent with autism. I wasn't evaluated or given support that I believe could have made a huge difference in my life. I think I would have benefited from having the right accommodations in school and being around other kids who understood me. Instead, I often felt like I was the only one who was different. Some milestones took me longer than they did for other children. It took me a long time to learn how to tie my shoes. I didn't learn how to shower independently till I was around 10 years old. Potty training was difficult for me, and those struggles continued into elementary school. I also had a hard time learning how money worked and what the currency was worth, especially with coins. I struggled with comprehension in general, which was one of the reasons why I had to repeat the grade. In first grade, I was also in a speech class because I needed extra help with my speech and communication. As I got older, I noticed that my brain seemed to work differently. I processed information more slowly, had trouble understanding what people meant, struggled in social situations, and often felt confused by conversations that everyone else seemed to understand. Because of that, I stood out. Unfortunately, other kids noticed that too. I was bullied throughout school, and one experience from first grade has stayed with me all these years. There was one boy who was especially mean to me. I think of him as my bully because he was also nasty to me on the school bus, not just at school. One day during recess, I was farther out in the field surrounding the playground. The playground felt enormous to me as a little kid, and there weren't many people nearby. My bully started slowly walking toward me without saying a single word. As he walked, he kept hitting his one fist into the palm of his other hand, almost like he was trying to intimidate me. I remember thinking he was going to hurt me. I was terrified. I started crying and ran as fast as I could towards the teacher because I genuinely feared for my physical safety. As a first grader, it was one of the scariest moments I had experienced at school. When I finally told the teacher what had happened, he only received a warning. As far as I know, his parents were never notified. That experience stayed with me and it contributed to the school feeling like a place where I was not safe. Around that time, my family moved into a house and I had transferred to a different school. I also repeated second grade when I moved schools. I had to be in this very small class where we read books and did assignment on them while I repeated second grade. At that time, I didn't fully understand why everything was changing, but looking back, it was another major transition in my childhood. For a long time, I thought I was the only person in the world who felt different like this. I wondered why making friends seemed so easy for everyone else while I struggled so much. It took me years to realize I was not alone. There were also many more experiences from my life that I'll save for future videos because there is a lot to unpack there. I nearly became homeless so many times. I've had to go to the hospital for a day for my mental health, and I haven't had solid physical support here because everyone has their own lives. I've been sexually abused and the landlord did not care, and I've been moving homes and jobs like crazy while trying to find stability. I left my parents at 18, right after I graduated high school, to try to build a better life for myself. If you ever felt misunderstood, different, or like you didn't fit in, I want you to know that you're not alone either. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my story. This is just the beginning. I have a lot more stories and experiences to share. So stay tuned because I'll be uploading frequently here on the channel. If you'd like to follow my journey, I'd love to have you here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.